Hello and welcome to Yerushalmi Berachos Daf Nun Ches. We are in the fifth parak, and I'm going to share three quick aras. So the first one is that the Gemara talks about if a chazan makes a mistake in the middle of davening. So it actually makes this general statement that if he skips two or three brachos, it's okay. Now halacha l'maisa, I'm not going to paskin, but there is such a concept. But the Gemara says that the exception is lakol emal zirno. So if he skips things, or according to other gersos, it actually means that stutters and gets stuck, except somebody that can't say mechaya mesim, which again seems like he's not bikaris, machnia zedim and boni Yerushalmi, because then we say he's a min, actually, is the Gemara's lashon. And then it brings down the same thing in the Bavli, that Shmuel Katan was davening and he got stuck and they didn't pull him down. Okay, so then we have a little further on, just two quick thoughts, and that is the Gemara says that a person should not be. The Mishnah says that if a chazan starts stuttering and has to be replaced, so v'lo sarban, a person should not be a refuser at that time. So I heard Rav David Heber in Baltimore speaking recently, and he said a very important thing, which is that when the Gemara talks about a late son, so what's the nun at the end of that word? So he said it means someone who continuously does something. So for example, we daven on Yom Kippur and we say that ki'ata salchan liYisrael machalon. So we're not just asking Hashem, please forgive us for what we did in the past, but we're saying, Hashem, you are the Solchan, you are the continuously forgiving one, and the Machalon. And we see this exact lesson here. V'lo sarban. It's not a sarban. A sarban is not just someone who is masariv, who delays once or pushes off, a refuser. Sarban means a pathological refuser. So that it's not appropriate to be a refuser. And that's just an interesting diak on that nun that makes it continuous. And then where Yeshua says there are three things from Rome, he says, or Derumia, I should say, from the south. He says, Shlosha Devarim, Ruban umiyutan Ra. And what the optimal is Veno Nisan Yafa, a healthy balance. And what's that? R, which is yeast. Put too much, it messes up the dough. If you put too little, it doesn't work. Valmelech, salt, again, the right amount. There's even a medrash, a lashon Chazal in Derech Eretz Rabbah that says a Talmud Chacham shouldn't be a tavshel that is too much salt or too little. Vaserav, and refusing, again, there's an appropriate way to do it. So just an interesting thing not to be a sarban, and also the balance. They point out from the Rambam, Kiyadua, that he advises that a person should have a balance in life. This is not a contradiction. It doesn't mean that that these are the only three times that a person should have a balance. It means this exact point. According to that medrash that I'm quoting, that Maimer Chazal and Derech Eretz Rabbah, the salt could be a remes to midos, that all your midos. However, remember the Rambam says that this is only when it comes to midos. For example, patience, person should have a balance, etc. Except for kas, right? Kiyadua, he doesn't follow the golden rule, and he should get rid of it totally because it destroys families and people and etc. But this doesn't apply to deos, which means hashkafa, that a person shouldn't just say, okay, whatever, so you think it's kosher, I think it's not, so who cares, we'll compromise, right? When it comes to halacha, when it comes to hashkafa, that's not a derech hamutza. There's a derech hamutza how to express yourself, how to deal with it when it comes to midos and behaviors, but not when it comes to deos, which is what to do, what's right and what's wrong. And the last thing is a very interesting ha'ara, that in the story that Rav Elazar was sitting in a shul, and someone was pressuring someone to daven. So the man just refused to daven. And then he came to apologize for Rav Eliezer and said, don't be angry at me. And Rav Eliezer said, I'm not angry at you. I'm actually angry at the person that was pressuring you because you shouldn't be pressured too much. So two ha'aras. One of them is pointed out by the late Tamar. He says this should be brought in the halacha, that people should not push others to get up to the Amud. But the other one is that he said, begins lo havin misar lo alis. I wasn't inspired, therefore I didn't go up. So a lot of the achronim on the page explain that means that he felt weak, etc. But the actual words, that's not what it says. He's saying, I didn't feel inspired, which means that the job of a chazan is to inspire. And when a person has that inspiration, he goes up there. I personally, when I'm a chazan, I have kavanah as much as I can, but I think, Rebbeinu Shalom, they're sending me up here, and I'm not Roy, but please Hashem, it's my job to ask that you accept the tefillos of Klal Yisrael. We've seen this in other places as well. Thank you, and have a great day.